Alrighty, race fans, the time is now. We have our first two cars out on the track, giving it a couple laps to let everything run in after we watered it out there. So we will get things started for our first class of the day. Rookie cage restricted R box out there right now. We got two racers. 60 JR going to be on the inside, Mila Baker out of Boyd, Wisconsin, followed behind by the 18 of Landon Pedersen out of Faribault. And just like that, we get our first green flag of the day. Looks like the 18 of Pedersen's going to be your early race leader. Gets a little squirrely there in between 1 and 2 on that nice freshly watered track. Able to hold on to things though. Pulling away from the 60 JR of Baker. Nice first clean lap in there for the 18 of Pedersen. Now, one thing we do have to remember about this rookie cage restricted R box class, so these are going to be racers ages 5 to 6, and it's a class for new drivers. So we're going to have a learning class for the littles. No points or scoring on this. It's all about practice time and getting some laps in. So as you can see, we got these nice fresh racers out there getting a feel not only for the tracks, but for their karts as well. And the 18 of Pedersen's making it look easy out there, holding on strong. Nice consistent laps out there for the 18. But we can't forget the 60 JR of Baker as well. Baker holding on strong as well, making some nice consistent laps around the track. This first heat race of the night is going to end up being 6 laps. Like I said, give our racers a chance not only to get to know a feel for the track, but also for their karts as well, before we put them out on the track later this evening for their feature races. One more lap around the track for the 18 of Pedersen. And just like that, checkered flag is out, our first checkered flag of the night. Heat race win going to the 18 of Landon Pedersen. Going into 3 one more time, 60 JR of Mila Baker. Holding on for that second place spot. Gets a little squirrely coming out of 4, hitting some of that wet patch. But gonna hold on for a solid second place finish. As we get those restricted R box classes off the track, next race out we're going to have is our Heat 1 for R box, so the main class. 2 heats going in for R box tonight. We're going to be having 8 laps in this first heat race. 8 laps, 6 racers starting off the R box class. Inside of row number 1, we're going to have the 1 of Bentley Larson out of Chippewa Falls. Bentley today, sponsored by A to Z Towing and Recovery out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Rally House Sports Bar and Grill, Red Cedar Painting, Lincoln Lakes Lawn Care, and Powder Plus. Next to her, we got the 60 of Lane Baker out of Boyd, Wisconsin. Inside of row number 2, we got the 4 of Lucas Pettit, sponsored by Gervais Wealth Management, Demel Trucking, John Doerr, Herefords, Advantage Agri-Service, and Chrysler Winona. Outside of row number 2, we got the 19 of Jacob Demel, sponsored by Loken Excavation and Drainage, Century Pumping, and Bulk Loads. Inside row number 3, we have the 36 of Henry Junker out of Stanley, Wisconsin. And rounding out the 6-car field, we have the 93 of Kate Knops, sponsored by Valley Properties, The Company, and River Street Haulers. Gonna get our racers all lined up. And just like that, We are green flag racing on the R-Box class. Side-by-side action going into 1 and 2, but the early race leader is going to end up being the 60 of Lane Baker holding on to the lead. Nice side-by-side battle between 3 and 4, between the 1 of Larson and the 36 of Junker. 36 goes high. The 1 looks down, and just like that, we got a new second-place racer, Larson, moving up to second. That brings us to single file throughout the field, but we might still have a battle for third as the 19 of Demel is able to sneak up underneath the 36 of Junker. Not going to make it, though, as Junker moves up to the outside of the 1 of Larson, regaining that second-place spot. Out front, though, nice and early, it's the 60 of Lane Baker holding on to the lead. 36 of Junker's looking, though. 36 of Junker slowly but surely making his way up to the 60 of Baker. Gonna try to fight for that top spot. And just like that, Junker looks down low. Side by side on the front stretch, but it's gonna be the 36 of Junker holding on, taking the lead. 60 of Baker getting pushed back to second. We got Junker, Baker, Demel 1, 2, 3, but Demel's looking up on Baker, trying to make a move. Looks down low, nothing there. Looks up high, nothing there. Squeezes down low, almost makes the pass. 60 of Baker's gonna hold on to it though on the back stretch. Side by side, Demel finally able to make the pass. Demel now up to second as the 36 of Junker comes up on some lap traffic. The 93 of Kate Knops. Not gonna slow Junker down though, able to get down below. White flag is out for Junker. 1 more lap to go. One last time into 3 and 4. Your Heat Race 1 winner. Give it up for the 60, or my bad, not the 60, for the 36 of Henry Junker. Demel gonna hold on for second. The 60 of Baker gonna hold on for that third place spot. Heat 2 about to come out. 6 racers, 8 laps. Starting off on the pole, though, it's going to be the 1T of Tanner Johnson, sponsored by WLJT Motorsports. Outside row number 1, we got the Hardcore Outdoor Peak Performance Builders 99K of Jacob Core. Inside row number 2, the 97 of Levi Haas. Outside row 2, the 20 of Fahrenholtz Constructions, Axel Fahrenholtz. Inside row number 3, the 16 of Oakley Booth, and the 26 of Kimber Zimmer rounding out your field. Thought we were going to be able to go green there. Got some racers pulling off from the infield, though. So we're going to have to push it off another lap as the 19 of Demel makes his way off the track. Rest of our racers from Heat 1 are going to make their way off the track now. Looks like we're going to give these racers one more lap to get them all situated. Going green this time by. We've got our racers side by side ready to go into 3 and 4. And just like that, we're R-Box Heat 2 green flag racing. The 1T of Tanner Johnson going to be your early race leader. 97, though, of Levi Haas coming up tight on second. Single file throughout the field. Johnson, Haas, nice little battle for third there, but it's going to hold on to the 99K of Core, holding on to that third place spot. As the 26 of Zimmer, I believe. No, the 20, my bad. The 20 of Fahrenholtz is going to round out. No yellow flag, though. Going to stay green. Nice little battle up front there, though, between the 1T of Johnson and the 97 of Haas. Johnson, Haas, nose to tail coming out of 4 as we come up on some lap traffic. They're both going to go around to the outside, though, make it nice and easy on them. Johnson, Haas, and the 16 of Booth looking to be your top three. One T of Johnson, slowly pulling away from the 97 of Haas. We had a nice little battle developing there. Able to give him some breath. Looks like we got about 5 kart lengths in between our top 2 racers. This time by, though, even further advantage for the 1T of Johnson as he slowly but surely starts pulling away from the 97 of Haas. And we got a little bit of space before we get back to our third place racer, the 16 of Oakley Booth. White flag is out this time. One more lap to go for the 1T of Tanner Johnson as he's slowly but surely pulling away from the rest of the field. One last time coming out of 4. Checkered flag is out. Give it up for the 1T of Tanner Johnson. Tanner Johnson going to get your heat race win. 97 of Levi Haas holding on to second. The 16 of Oakley Booth going to hold on for third. And just like that, we're done with our R-Box class. We're going to move into our junior wing class next, though. Starting off on the pole, Martin's Milk Service, Martin Warehousing, Pat's Motorsports, Mill Road Auto Repairs, 8 of Alan Byrne. Outside of row number 1, we got the 98 of Axel Haas out of Boyd, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, 12B of Tate Brzezinski from Becker, Minnesota. Outside of row number 2, Gervais Wealth Management, Cada Concrete, Larson Building and Remodeling sponsored 3J of Jonathan Pettit III. And rounding out your 5-car heat number 1, we got the 21 sponsored by Fahrenholtz Constructions, Ashton Fahrenholtz out of Minnesota City, Minnesota. 5 karts, 8 laps in heat 1 of 2 for our junior wing class. Splitting this class into 2 heats. We got 5 competitors in each race. First 5 starting it off, though. Green flag is out for our junior wing class. Early race leader is going to be the 8 of Byrne. Nice tight battles throughout the field, though. Just like that, the 3J of Pettit III looking to the inside, able to make the pass. Pettit's your new race leader. Slowly but surely going to start pulling away from the rest of the field, though. Just like that, though, we got a nice little battle for second and third still developing between the 21 of Fahrenholtz, now looking to take over that second place spot from the 8 of Byrne. Pettit, Byrne, Fahrenholtz, your top 3. But we do have a kart going around in 4, going to draw the caution, which will bring these karts all back together. Looks like that was the 12B of Brzezinski going around in 4. All good, back up and ready to go, but this is going to bring them back to a nice little start. Get them all tight, compact, ready to go for some more green flag action. Going green next time round for the junior wing class. So once again, these are going to be racers ages 7 to 12. This is going to be your next step up class after the R-Box racers that we just saw out there. And this right here can be a pretty competitive class. So they're always got some good racing going on. Going to be a single file restart for these 5 racers. Green flag is out. We're back to green flag action in heat 1 of junior wing. 3J of Pettit going to hold on to your early race lead. The 8 of Burns looking, though. Only about 1 kart length separating first and second. As we have the 21 of Fahrenholtz trying to come up on the action as well. Looking down low, looking up high, nothing to give. Just like that, we got a pass for the lead, though. The 8 of Byrne your new race leader coming across the line. Byrne, Pettit, Fahrenholtz, your top 3. Don't count out the 98 of Axel Haas, though, right behind in 4th. Another lap around. Byrne still holding on to the lead. Seems like he's trying to pull away from the 3J of Pettit. Pettit's able to get him in the corners. Byrne pulling away on the straights, though. Like I was saying, folks, we can see some nice competitive action here in this class. White flag is out. One more lap to go for the 8 of Byrne as the 3J of Pettit goes into the wall coming out of 4. Able to hold on fine, but definitely pulling back now. Gives the 21 of Fahrenholtz a chance to try to look low. Checkered flag is out, though. The 8 of Alan Byrne going to be your heat race winner. 3J of Pettit going to hold on for 2nd. 21 of Fahrenholtz holding on for 3rd. This will give a chance for Heat 2 competitors to come on out. Once again, we got 5 racers in this class as well. Starting off on the pole out of Chautauqua, Wisconsin, the 26 of Camden Grilly. Outside row number 2, the 91 of Easton Grilly from Chautauqua, Wisconsin. Inside row 2, the 14 of Archer Hoffbeck, sponsored by Reed's Seamless Gutters, Hayden Murphy, Summit Custom Landscaping, and DVR. 15 JR, Luke Patterson on the outside of row 2. Rounding out the field, we got the 44 of Reese Smith out of Stanley, Wisconsin. 5 cars, 8 laps as we're green flag action. 26 of Grilly going to be your early race leader. But look at that, the 44 of Smith from the back moving their way up to 2nd. And underneath the 26, we got a new race leader, ladies and gentlemen. Reese Smith absolutely dominating out here the past few weeks. Going from 5th up to 1st in 1 lap and pulling away from the rest of the competitors. 2 laps down, Smith already 12, 13 kart lengths ahead of 2nd place. Smith, 14 of Hoffbeck holding on for 2nd. The 26 of Camden Grilly holding on to 3rd. 15 JR of Luke Patterson looking down low on Grilly. Not quite able to make it happen in that battle for 3rd. Patterson's going to hold on for 4th. Grilly in 3rd. As we have the 91 of Easton Grilly back in 5th. Another lap in the books for the 44 of Smith. Now a quarter lap ahead of her competitors. White flag is out, though. 1 more lap to go for Reese Smith. Putting on a clinic for the rest of these junior wing competitors. Still a nice little battle going for 3rd, though. Who's it going to be? Checkered flag is out for the 44 of Reese Smith. 14 of Hoffbeck going to hold on for 2nd. And for 3rd, it looks like it's going to be the 15 JR of Luke Patterson, able to make the move on the 26X of Grilly. Smith, Hoffbeck, Patterson, your top 3 in heat number 2, a junior wing. Two heats again for junior 1 flat karts, your next class out here. 5 racers in this first heat, 4 in the second. Starting off on the pole, though, is going to be the 58 of Mackenzie Jorgensen out of Tomah, Wisconsin. 6 of Ethan Demmer, going to be on the outside of row number 1 out of Ellendale, Minnesota. Inside row number 2, we got the 21 of Isaac Demmer from Ellendale. Outside row number 2, we got the Midwest Concrete and Masonry, Mechanical Systems, Anderson Enterprises, Gillis Tree Care, number 19 of Colton Gillis. And on the inside of row number 3, we got the 26 of Kyler Zimmer out of Spring Valley, Minnesota. 5 karts, 8 laps in heat number 1 of our junior 1 flat kart. Now, junior 1 flat kart, We have 2 heats here, but we have 2 flat kart classes going on here back to back. We have Junior 1 now, Junior 2, 3 later. Junior 1 is going to be ages 7 to 11, a nice intro flat kart class. As we get into the 2-3 class, it's going to be a little bit older racers, ages 12 to 15. Little spin going around in turn 1 and 2. Going to draw out the yellow. Complete restart here for heat number 1. Now, like I said, so these are racers ages 7 to 11 out there. Not quite as an intro class as some of these earlier classes we saw, the restricted R-Box or the R-Box classes. But these are still younger racers. Putting them behind the wheel of a kart, going to give them a chance to, restart, get things all going, reline them up here in turn 1 instead of keeping them rolling while we get them relined. We're going to stop them in turn 1, get them all reset up, make sure they're all ready to go before we get back to some green flag action here. As we've got our karts all set and ready to go, we're going to give them the green flag this next time by. One more time onto the back stretch under caution before we get back to some green flag action here. So once again, 5 racers, 8 laps in heat 1. Early race leader going to be the 6 of Ethan Demmer, pulling away from the rest of the field. 21 of Isaac Demmer holding on strong for second. 19 of Colton Gillis in third. A little bit of space before we get back to the 58 of Mackenzie Jorgensen. Then we got the 26 of Zimmer rounding out the 5-car field. Nice little battle there up front, though. 21 of Isaac Demmer going to overtake the 6 of Ethan Demmer as your new race leader. The Demmer double D action going on the track. As we come up to some lap traffic, the 21 of Isaac Demmer going to make it around nice and easy. 6 of Ethan Demmer going to get held up a little bit. Not too bad, though, as he's able to pass the 26 of Zimmer. That'll definitely give the 21 of Isaac Demmer a nice advantage, though, over Ethan. Ooh, a little action there in 3 and 4. Going to send one of our karts around. Looks like it's the 58 of Jorgensen going around. Got into the side of the 6 of Ethan Demmer in that corner. Jorgensen going around. Demmer able to get out unscathed. So we're going to restart them in turn 1. Get these kids a chance to get all resettled in their restarting order. Then we're going to do a green-white checkered for these racers. '21 of Isaac Demmer going to start off as your restart leader. Then the 6 of Ethan Demmer holding on to second. 19 of Gillis going to restart third. Then the 26. Looks like they're going behind the 19. The 58 of Jorgensen going to be at the back after causing that caution in 4. So once again, 21 of Isaac Demmer, 6 of Ethan Demmer, 19 of Gillis, 26 of Zimmer, 58 of Jorgensen going to be your restart order. for this green-white checkered. Going to give them one lap around before coming green this time by. Green flag is out. We're back to Junior 1 flat car racing. 21 of Isaac Demmer pulling away from the 6 of Ethan Demmer. White flag is out. One more lap to go for Isaac. Demmer, Gillis, your top 3. And one last time by. Checkered flag is out. Give it up for the 21 of Isaac Demmer. Going to be your heat race winner. 6 of Ethan Demmer going to hold on for second. The 19 of Colton Gillis going to hold on for third. Heat number 2 for Junior 1 flat kart making their way out. Starting off on the pole, though. Holtmeyer Construction, Cook & Sons XK. Number 13 of Finn Cook out of Warsaw, Minnesota. Outside row number 1, we got the 23 of Taylor Schulke from Elko, Minnesota. Inside that second row, the 01 of James Schulke, also out of Elko, Minnesota. And rounding out this 4-kart field, we got the 59 of Vincent Abbott out of Tomah, Wisconsin. 4 karts, 8 laps in heat number 2 for Junior 1 flat kart. So we send these kids around the track. We're going to stop them in turn number 1. Give them a chance to get all reordered, resituated. Get them all doubled up for a nice 2-row start here in heat number 2. Karts are all situated. We're going green this time by. Cook, Taylor Schulke, James Schulke, Abbott, your 4 racers. And green flag is out. We're back to some Junior 1 flat kart racing as we start off on heat 2. Top 3 competitors side by side going in through 1 and 2. Little paint scraping going into 3. But your early race leader is going to end up being the 59 of Vincent Abbott, pulling away from the rest of the field. Abbott, 23 of Taylor Schulke, and the 13 of Cook, your top 3 racers. One more lap around for the 59 of Abbott, holding on strong to that lead. Started off as the 4th of 4 cars. Very early on going to be able to get that race lead, though. Single file throughout the field. Abbott, Taylor Schulke, Cook, James Schulke, your top 4. Evenly spaced, your 4 karts. 59 of Vincent Abbott, slowly but surely making his way up on the end of the field. 01 of James Schulke putting in a solid lap there. Taking that low line. 59 of Abbott. Gonna look up high. Nothing quite there. Able to make that high line stick. But we are gonna throw a caution. Looks like we have a kart around in 2 going off the track. Believe it might be the 13 of Cook spinning around. That'll give us a chance to get these karts resituated. Restart order's going to look like this. 59 of Abbott, your race leader, starting off up front. 23 of Taylor Schulke going to hold on to that second place spot. 01 of James Schulke going to start third. And then after spinning out, 13 of Cook going to hold up the back of the field. Give these carts a chance to get all reordered. As we single file restart for this. Abbott, Schulke, Cook. Going green this time by. And coming out of 4, green flag is out. We're back to Junior 1 flat car racing. Abbott still your race leader. Keep an eye on that 23 of Taylor Schulke, though, holding on to the 59 of Abbott. Abbott pulling away slightly, but Schulke holding his ground. Still holding on to that second place spot. Little bit of space before we get back to the 01 of James Schulke, with the 13 of Finn Cook rounding out the field. White flag is out. One more lap to go for the 59 of Abbott. So we got another kart going around on the back stretch. Looks like it's the 23 this time. Your second place racer. 23 of Taylor Schulke spinning around on the back stretch. As we get these carts all resituated, we're going to end up doing a white checkered on this. So we had just flown the white flag for our leader. 1 lap to go. But we had that caution out on the back stretch. So instead of the traditional green-white checkered, just with these kids still getting to learn the carts, we're going to go white checkered on this one. So we're going to get them all reordered, set, ready to go in turn 1. Then once we send them loose, they'll go through the back stretch, in through 3 and 4. Coming out of 4, they're going to get the white flag there. Give them 1 lap to go before that checkered flag. Racers are all set and ordered. 59 of Abbott, 01 of James Schulke, 13 of Cook, and the 23 of Taylor Schulke rounding out the field. And green flag is out. White flag flying right behind it as we're back to flat kart racing. Abbott pulling away from the rest of the field. 23 of Taylor Schulke making moves. Back up to second after spinning out. And just like that, checkered flag is out. Give it up for the 59 of Vincent Abbott taking away the heat race win. 23 of Taylor Schulke going to hold on to second. 01 of James Schulke holding on to third. So once again, Abbott, Schulke, your top 3. In heat number 2, your Junior 1 flat karts. Now this brings us into our Junior 2-3 flat karts that I was talking about earlier. So Junior 2-3 flat karts, these are going to be kids ages 12 to 15, more advanced flat kart class. This class has a less restricted motor than Junior 1, which allows the drivers to use the equipment they have with some small modifications to them. Starting off on the pole, 29 of Noah Pollock, sponsored by Backwoods Electric, Triple J Western Shop, Fountain Motel. Outside row number 1, we got the 19 of Tatum Gillis, sponsored by Gillis Tree Care, Midwest Concrete and Masonry, Mechanical Systems. Inside row number 2, Well Pros Pump and Well Drillings, 72 of Riley Inglet Payne out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Outside row number 2, the 56 of Allison Blazel from Dorchester, Wisconsin. Inside row number 3, Ridgeview Construction LLC, Shorty's Creation, 66 of Isaiah Hughes, 76 of Carson Finch, rounding out your field, and we're green flag racing. 29 of Pollock, your early race leader, slides out in turn 2. It's going to be the 72 of Inglet Payne, your new race leader. And just like that, side-by-side battle. We got a three-way battle. 56 of Blazel coming up on the inside of that two-cart battle. Blazel, your new race leader. 72 of Inglet Payne holding on for second. 66 of Isaiah Hughes wants that second place spot, though. Blazel, Inglet Payne, Hughes, your top three. Don't count out the 19 of Gillis, though, holding on tight for fourth. Nice little battle there at the back between the 29 of Pollock and the 76 of Mish. It's all Blazel out front, though, as she slowly but surely pulls away from the rest of the field. Blazel putting in a solid lap. 72 of Inglet Payne slowly but surely pulling away from the 66 of Hughes. Single file throughout the field. Blazel, Inglet Payne, Hughes, Gillis, Mish, Pollock. Your race order. Blazel slowly but surely pulling away from the rest of the crowd. Gillis looking up on Hughes. Hughes looking up on Inglis Payne. White flag is out. One more lap to go for Junior 2-3 flat carts. Nice little three-cart battle there for second, third, and fourth. Single file throughout the field, though. And just like that, checkered flag is out for the 56 of Allison Blazel. Side by side across the checkered flags. Going across the finish lines almost side by side for our second, third, and fourth competitors. But it's going to be Blazel holding on to the win in that class. .125, 250 wings out for their heat race. We were supposed to have two carts in this class. Looks like just the 2.0 of Jackson Helen showing up, though. 311 of Jameson Schur not able to make it. So we just got one cart out there now. Jackson Helen out of Cadott, Wisconsin. Sponsored by Property Shop Realty, Road Dogs MC, Signature Metals, Stenbeck Custom Cues, the Brown Hut, and Casey Electric. Putting on some nice laps out there. Just one cart in this 125, 250 wing class today. But still fun to see him out there. It's awesome for Jackson Helen to be able to put these laps out on the field as well. Now, when we have more carts out here for this 125, 250 wing class, these are going to be racers ages 10 and up. They're usually using a 125 or 250 dirt bike engine, either a 2 or 4-stroke. And this right here is going to be the top tier class in your wing cart class divisions. As Helen goes around for another lap. Just a reminder to thank some of our sponsors we have out here tonight. Matt Demmel Trucking, our Victory Lane sponsor. Midwest Machinery, The Heating Dude. Jordan Graphics, Gillis Lawn and Tree Care. Cannon Custom Tank Wash, among others. Your Cannon River Raceway sponsors for the year. White flag is out. One more lap to go for the lone Helen out there. And after a hard-fought battle, checkered flag is out for the 2.0 of Jackson Helen. After a competitive 125-250 wing race, we're going to move into our A-class micro sprints. 2 heats today, 8 racers in each. For heat number 1, though, for your A-class micro sprints, starting off on the pole, it's going to be the 28 of Mason Hale, sponsored by Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, Tractor Central, Mississippi Thunder Speedway, LT Construction LLC, Boondocks Locker Room, among others. Outside row number 2, Sister Maddie Hale out of Trempealeau, Wisconsin, racing the 28X, sponsored also by Martin's Bulk Milk Service, Oak Ridge Fabrication, Premier Powder Coating, Dan and Rita Flair, and Pop's Pancakes. Inside row number 2, 42 of Jake Lewerk, sponsored by Betzler Builders, Ice Country Fish Houses, and the Hummels. Outside row number 2, the X of Paul Rezidlo from Duluth, Minnesota. Inside row number 3, 249X of Brendan Newville. Followed by him, the 17 of Gavin Underdahl, sponsored by Sorensen's Appliance Service, MCI Paint and Drywall, Willis Racing, and Matt Demmel Trucking. Inside row number 4, 19L of Thomas Trucking, EDM Design Millwright, Agra Strategies, very own 19L of Landry Singleton out of Mora, Minnesota. And rounding out the 8-car field, we got the 323 of Tyler Polofsky, sponsored by Ofa May Photography. 8 racers, 8 laps for heat number 1 of our A-class micro sprints. Green flag is out. Hale gonna be your early race leader. Hale. Lewerk, your top 3 as we're single file throughout the field. Lewerk slides up to number 28 of Maddie Hale. Nothing going there though. 28 of Mason Hale, slowly but surely pulling away from the rest of the field. Lewerk looks down low, able to make the pass on Maddie Hale. And just like that, Maddie looks down low, tries to gain that spot back. Nothing quite doing it though. Lewerk now moving up to second. The X of Rezidlo moving up to third. Mason Hale, Lewerk, Rezidlo, your new top 3. Maddie Hale in 4th. 17 of Gavin Underdahl. Looking up below. Another lap in the books for our racer up front though, the 28 of Mason Hale. Lewerk setting his sights. Not quite sure we're going to be able to do anything. Almost got a slide out there though from the 28 of Mason Hale. That's going to give Lewerk a chance to move on up. The extra Rezidlo to follow. Hale still your race leader after sliding out in 2. But Lewerk's now right on his tail. Only got 2 kart lengths separating these top 2 competitors. White flag out, 1 more lap to go for Mason Hale. Checkered flag is out, but we got a caution in 2. Mason Hale gonna be your race winner. 42 of Lewerk gonna hold on for second, and the X of Rezidlo gonna hold on for third. Heat number 2. As we give our Heat 1 competitors a chance to get off. As our racers pull off, we'll get our starting lineups ready though for heat number 2 of the evening. Heat number 2 for A-class micro sprints looking like this. Starting off on the pole, we got the GCJ Millwright, Shelly Johnson, Blade Runner Transports, Kratzer Home Builders, number 88 of Caleb Moen out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Outside row number 1, the C71 Carter Jensrud, sponsored by Doan Family Farms, Steel Brothers Reality. Inside row number 2, we got the Worldwide Hydraulics, Quality Rental, Soderholm Insurance, number 10H of Owen Henricks. Outside row number 2, the 99 of Mason Subert out of Welch, Minnesota. Inside row number 3, the 2 of Grant McIntosh out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. Outside row number 3, sponsored by Eagles Peak Processing, Township 23 Distillery, Oakview Family Farms. We got the 10 of Cole McQuiston out of Alma, Wisconsin. And inside that fourth and final row, we got the 9F, sponsored by Nitro Lubricants, House Auto Group MN. Awesome Racewear, Dean's Towing, Ryan Franson out of Owatonna, Minnesota. And rounding out our 8-car field, we got the Rays Auto Body, Jellyfish Graphics, Hanson Electric, number 128 of Marshall Willing out of Becker, Minnesota. Once again, 8 karts in this 8-lap heat for our A-class micro sprints. Going to give our racers a chance to get all situated, double file for this start before we go green flag racing. Green flag is out. We're back to A-class micro sprint racing. 88 of Moen going to be your early race leader. Sliding high though in 1. C71 of Jensrud able to make the move down on the inside. Jensrud, Moen, top 2. 99 of Schubert going to hold on to 3rd. And that all-black A-class micro sprint. Schubert looking low. Nothing quite there to get past the 88 of Moen. But he's got the 10H of Henricks right behind him. One more lap around for the C71 of Jensrud. Jensrud, Moen, Schubert, your top 3. We got a nice little back space before we get back to the 10H of Henricks. Followed by a side-by-side battle for 5th and 6th between the 128, Marshall William. 9F. C71 of Jensrud slowly but surely pulling away from the rest of the field now. With the 88 of Moen then pulling away from the 3rd of Schubert. About 10 kart lengths in between our top 2 competitors and our 2nd and 3rd place competitors. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go. And one final time coming out of 4th. C71 Jensrud gonna hold on for the race win. 88 of Molen hold on for 2nd. 99 Schubert hold on for 3rd. In that nice green to checkered A-class micro sprint race. Once again, give it up for your winner, the C71 of Carter Jensrud. Gonna give these racers a chance to get off the track before we bring out our next set of racers. Yard kart gonna be our next class. Only 1 heat tonight. 1 heat, 3 racers in this 8-lap dash for our yard kart competitors. Three racers in your yard kart class tonight. Starting off on the pole, though, going to be the 555 of Matt Vlachek out of Hudson, Wisconsin. Outside row number 1, we got the 18 of Dan Pedersen from Webster, Minnesota. And rounding out this 3-kart field on the inside of row number 2, we got the 65, Boston, Minnesota's very own Ashley Siddle. Green flag is out. Vlachek going to be your early race leader. Side-by-side action for 2 and 3, though. Who's it going to be? Looks like it's the 65 of Siddle securing that 2nd place spot. 18 of Pedersen still wants it, though, fighting hard. Siddle slowly but surely making their way up. Might see a battle for the lead here developing. Single file throughout the field. Pedersen keeping to fight for that 2nd spot. Trying to look low in the corners, looking high on the straights. Nothing quite going. This gives the 55 of Lechek a chance to pull away from the rest of the field, as Siddle's got her hands full. The 18 of Pedersen. Lechek, Siddle, Pedersen, 1, 2, 3. Just like that, though, Pedersen finally able to make that inside gap work. Pedersen now up to second. Lechek, Pedersen, Siddle, your new top three. Pedersen with about a Lechek with about a one corner advantage over the 18 of Pedersen in second. Then we just got about maybe 4 or 5 kart lengths in between Pedersen and Siddle for second and third. White flag is out. One more lap to go for our yard kart racers. 5:55 of Lechek still holding on strong. One last time out of 4 for our yard karts. Checkered flag is out. Give it up for the 5:55 of Lechek, your yard kart race winner. 18 of Pedersen gonna hold on for second. And the 65 of Siddle holding on for third.
There is no weight on yard.
As our yard karts pull off the track, we're going to bring our Slingshots on for our next heat race of the afternoon. 4 Slingshots, 1 heat for our Slingshot competitors. Now these Slingshot racers, so these Slingshots that we're about to send out, these are going to be racers ages 8 and up. We got a mini modified with suspension here. Very affordable class with some great racing out here. We only got 4 competitors tonight. Some of our other nights, though, we've had some pretty decent numbers in this class. Starting off on the pole, though, for tonight, we got the 21 of Isaac Demmer out of Ellendale, Minnesota, with the 6 of Ethan Demmer going to take the outside of row number 1. Inside row number 2, Lock and Excavation and Drainage, Demmel Logistics, Georges of Geneva, 19 of Jacob Demmel from Owatonna, Minnesota. And rounding out this 4-car field, we got the Ultra AVS, Oz Lifting Products, Solberg Designs Concepts, number 88 of Cashton Kaler out of Rolling Stone, Minnesota. 4 cars, 8 laps, green flag is out, we're Slingshot racing. 21 of Isaac Demmer, your early race leader. 19 of Demmel looking low, though. Not quite able to make the pass on the backstretch. Still going to put up a nice battle, though. Demmer, Demmel, Kaler, your top 3. 6 of Ethan Demmer holding on to 4th. Isaac Demmer holding strong. Sliding a little high, going to give Demmel a chance to look low. Nothing quite there, though. Nice little 3-way battle there for our top 3 competitors. Kaler starts to go around in 4. Going to push him back a little bit. But it's still the 21 of Isaac Demmer holding strong. 19 of Demmel fighting, trying to get that top spot away from him, though. 5 car lengths separate them on the straights. 1 car length separates them in the corners. Demmel's definitely got the advantage in the turns. 21 of Demmer able to pull away on the straights, though. Demmel looks low, nothing quite there. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for the 21 of Isaac Demmer. And checkered flag is out. Give it up for the 21 of Isaac Demmer. Gonna hold on flag to flag for the lead. 19 of Jacob Demmel going to hold on for a second place finish. 88 of Cashton Kaler going to finish off at that third step of the podium. Intermediate wings, your next class out today. 5 racers, 8 laps in this single heat for the intermediate wing class. Starting off on the pole, we got the 29X out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, Sydney Knops. Outside row number 1, we got Caleb Beefcake Knops racing the K-Man's Worms, Valley Properties, The Company, MSK Realtors, Knops Services number 95. Inside row number 2, 29 of Abigail Blazel out of Dorchester, Wisconsin, with the 56 of Allison Blazel, going to hold on to that second place spot outside of row number 2. And rounding out our field, we saw her out there dominate earlier today. In the R-Box class, we got the 44 of Reese Smith out of Stanley, Wisconsin. Green flag is out. We're intermediate wing racing. Sydney Knops, your early race leader. Nice side-by-side battle, though, between Blazel and Knops. 29 of Abigail Blazel going to move up to the inside, take over that lead spot. Pushes them just high enough to get the chance of the 44 of Smith to make their way in. And just like we saw earlier today, folks, Smith dominating from the very back spot up to the top in just under 2 laps. And just like that, Smith going to pull away from the rest of the field. The 29 of Abigail Blazel holds on for second. 95 of Caleb Knops holding on for third. Smith, Blazel, Knops. Blazel, your top 5 racers. And we got contact in 4, going to send our carts around. And it's going to push the caution. Got some backfiring coming on from the 95 of Caleb Knops in turn 1. As we get our restart order ready to go, we're going to see the 44 of Smith out front, 29 of Abigail Blazel holding on to second, 29X of Sydney Knops for third, with the 56 of Allison Blazel holding on to fourth. Looks like the 95 of Caleb Knops pulling in, not going to make the restart. Green flag is out. Smith, Blazel, Knops. Smith, your early race leader, pulling away from the 29 of Abigail Blazel. Don't count out the 29X of Sydney Knops, though. Tight on the tail of Blazel. The 56 of Allison Blazel also holding on strong in fourth. Single file throughout the field. The battle we're going to want to be watching, though, is between that second and third place racer. 29 of Abigail Blazel has it. 29X of Sydney Knops wants it. White flag is out. One more lap to go for our racers. Side by side across the line. Knops going low, able to make the pass. Knops up to second. Blazel back to third. Checkered flag is out, though. Just like we saw earlier, we got the 44 of Smith taking your race win. 29X of Sydney Knops going to take over that second spot, with the 29 of Abigail Blazel holding on for a heartbreaking third. As we take our intermediate wing racers off the track, we're going to get ready for our sportsman class. Our last heat race of the day. Just one heat for the sportsman class, 8 racers, 8 laps. Starting off on the pole, It's going to be the Firestone Complete Auto Care 18 of Mike Pedersen out of Faribault, Minnesota. Outside row number 1, Two Brothers Auto, R&J Sandblasting, Forget Me Not Gifts, number 23 of Haley McQuiston from Alma, Wisconsin. Inside row number 2, the 57 of Toma, Wisconsin's David Abbott. Outside row number 2, we got the Sorensen Appliance Service, MCI Paint and Drywall, Demo Logistics, number 17 of Tegan Underdahl. Outside row number 2, we got the 555 of Matt Vlachek. Underdahl, Gillis, and Inglet going to round out your field as we're green flag racing. Bumping and banging going through 1 and 2, but everyone's going to stay on 4 wheels. 18 of Pedersen, your early race leader. As we've got dual 17s in second and third, and I spoke too soon as one of our 17s spins around in 2. It's going to bring the caution out. Looks like that was the 17T of Travis Underdahl, I believe. Along with the 57 of Abbott. We're going to get our carts relined up here. Lineup seems to be good. We're going green this time by. Single file restart for these racers. Sounds like we're actually going to give them one more lap. Weren't quite as settled as we were hoping for these racers to get. Pedersen, Underdahl, your top 3 on this restart. Green flag is out. We're back to Sportsman Kart Racing. .57 of Abbott going around. We got some hungry competitors out there, itching to get to some green flag racing. Hadn't quite given them the green flag yet before they started racing. So we're just going to give them one more time around. Let them get restarted. Not green this time around. And then we'll have our racers all set and ready to go. Pedersen, Underdahl, Inglet, your top 4. Lights are out. Green flags flying. We're back to Sportsman Flat Car Racing. Pedersen holding on strong for the lead. Underdahl's right behind him, though, hot on his tail. As we got racers around in 3 and 4, 2 competitors caught up in that. Gonna cause another caution on the class. Now for this Sportsman Flat Kart class, so these are racers ages 15 up. It's a class meant for all ages. And as you guys can see tonight, it's competitive with rules in place to keep the costs of running down. So we always get hungry racers out here looking to give it their all to be on the top step of the podium for this class. We're going to give them another lap of yellow. Let them get all lined up and ready to go. And then we'll go green this time by. Green flag's out. We're back to Sportsman Flat Car Racing. Pedersen and Dual Underdolls, your top three racers. Bumping and banging coming out of two. We make it through unscathed, though. Underdoll looking low. 17 of Tegan Underdoll able to make the pass on the 18 of Pedersen. Pedersen still hot on his trail, though. Little bit of space before we get back to the 17T of Travis Underdoll. And the 81 of England looking low, able to make that pass for third. $17T of Travis Underdoll, your race leader. 18 of Pedersen, holding on for second, with the 81 of Inglet in third. Underdoll, Pedersen, Inglet, your top three. White flag is out. One more lap to go for the 17T of Travis Underdoll. Single file throughout the field. As checker flags out, give it up for the 17T of Travis Underdoll. 18 of Pedersen going to hold on for second, with the 81 of Inglet going to round out your podium for this final heat race of the evening. As we finish up our heat races for the evening, this is the perfect time, if you haven't already, to head on down to the snack shack, grab some food or beverages, run to the restroom. And for those of you here, if you have any friends or family who wanted to come out tonight but weren't able to make it, make sure you direct them to MBTV Sports, live streaming tonight on both YouTube and Facebook. And if you're looking for any streaming opportunities here in the future for any of your events coming up, whether it be sporting events or branching into concerts, plays, etc., make sure you hit up through the website or socials, MBTV Sports, working on their streaming options throughout the area. We're going to head to a quick intermission here. Before we hit our intermission, though, we are going to do one of our feature races. Give our rookie cage restricted R-Box feature a chance to get out there before it gets too late for these young racers. So for this rookie cage class, like I was saying earlier, these are your racers ages 5 to 6. So we're going to get them out there here first before we hit our main intermission. Should be all set and ready to go in just a minute for those racers, though.
Freight is the backbone of the country, and as long as people need goods, they're going to need somebody to get it to them. My name is Matt Bohl with QualityFreightRate.com, powered by T-Force Worldwide. We provide LTL, truckload, and expedited freight services across this country. If your freight weighs over 120 pounds going over 120 miles, that's where my shipping rates kick in. We help companies ship easier for less. With our system, our customers are able to quote and book shipments with ease 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're having trouble with damages, lost freight, claims of any sort, we can help you with our experience, solve the problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years. We know this industry. We can help all size business, big or small, we love them all. But we have a special spot for small business. Small businesses are pillars in the community. Low rates are critical for a small business because the margins are generally pretty small. They need to have competitive rates. They can't be getting gouged or they lose the sale. Freight is simple. People make it difficult. We work as consultants in the industry, so it doesn't matter what your problem is, we'll solve it. We educate the customers, we solve problems, and we lower their shipping rates. And that's what I've been doing for 28 plus years.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
My two passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers that certified Angus beef. We know what our beef is continuously and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was going to be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of the year. I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town.
We're in the pits, get them all ready for the race to go. But we've got them out on the track now, all ready to go green flag racing. We're going to stop our racers in turn 1, give them a chance to get all lined up. So we bring them to a stop in turn 1 here. One of our racers doesn't quite want to stop yet.
John, go on to the track and stop him. Stop him right there. Just go on the track right there. We're just going to start him from here. Get him side by
We're going to give our rookie cage racers a chance to get all lined up and ready to go in turns 3 and 4 before we set them loose for their feature race. Green is out. We're rookie cage racing. 18 of Landon Pedersen going to make their way around. The 60 JR of Mila Baker moving back to second. As Pedersen slowly but surely pulls away. building a nice gap there between him and his second place racer. So as I said, well, these guys were out here for their heat races. So this rookie cage restricted R-Box class, it's all about practice time and getting some laps in. So these are racers just 5 or 6 years old out there right now. It's a class for new drivers. So this gives them a chance to learn for the littles. No points in this class, no scoring. But just a nice little chance to get out there, not only get a feel for the track conditions, but also get a feel for their karts as well. Dip their toes into the racing. '18 of Pedersen, pedal to the metal, making it around, coming up on some lap traffic. Gonna take him on the outside though. Solid laps around the field from both our racers. Both racers trying different lines. 60 JR of Baker making their way high that time around, seeing how that high line looks. 18 of Pedersen liking that low line, though, on the front stretch. Pedersen going low in the straights, high in the corners. Baker going high on the straights, low in the corners, but testing the waters both ways. Pedersen going to make it around Baker once more. Nice and clean, getting a feel for the track, a feel for the car. And not only that, getting them in the racing spirit, getting them all ready to move up to the next class. One more laps in the books for the 18 of Faribault's Landon Pedersen. This time by, though, white flag is out. One more lap to go for our rookie cage racers. As we go one final time into 3 or 4, make sure you say it loud, say it proud, give it up for your race winner, the 18 of Landon Pedersen. 60 JR of Mila Baker holding on for a solid second place. We're going to give our racers the chance to pull into the Matt Demmel Trucking Victory Lane. And as our racers get their helmets off and they get pulled out of their karts, remember, these kids are 5 or 6 years old, so we want to give them as much noise as we can. As they get their belts off, give them all a round of applause. Your race winner, the 18 of Landon Pedersen, 60 JR of Mila Baker holding on for second. And there we go. Helmets off for your race winner, the 18 of Landon Pedersen, everybody. arms in the air, celebrating that rookie cage win. And now that we've finished up this first feature race of the night, we're going to head into a quick intermission, looking to be 15 minutes or so. This will give you guys a chance to head on down to the snack shack, stretch a little bit, walk around before we get back to our main event racing and our opening ceremonies.
Freight is the backbone of the country, and as long as people need goods, they're going to need somebody to get it to them. My name is Matt Bohl with QualityFreightRate.com, powered by T-Force Worldwide. We provide LTL, truckload, and expedited freight services across this country. If your freight weighs over 120 pounds going over 120 miles, that's where my shipping rates kick in. We help companies ship easier for less. With our system, our customers are able to quote and book shipments with ease 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're having trouble with damages, lost freight, claims of any sort, we can help you with our experience, solve the problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years. We know this industry. We can help all size business, big or small. We love them all, but we have a special spot for small business. Small businesses are pillars in the community. Low rates are critical for a small business because the margins are generally pretty small. They need to have competitive rates. They can't be getting gouged or they lose the sale. Freight is simple. People make it difficult. We work as consultants in the industry, so it doesn't matter what your problem is, we'll solve it. We educate the customers, we solve problems, and we lower their shipping rates. And that's what I've been doing for 20 plus years.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
My two passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers that certified Angus beef. We know what our beef is continuously and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was going to be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of The year, I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town really puts things into perspective. It's the little things for me to be appreciated and respected. So this whole operation here, it doesn't have to be the biggest, but it needs to have passion. And today, I'm changing lives of people that work with me. My guys are learning lifelong skills and values. That's the good stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Let's have a good time at it.
Auto Value Parts Stores has the parts you need for your car, truck, boat, or RV. With 8 locations in the Finger Lakes, including Canandaigua, Auto Value can help you find the parts you need, like motor oil for that do-it-yourself oil change, electrical wiring and lighting for your trailer. We even make customer-specific hydraulic hoses. Auto Value stocks everything that racer in your family needs. Let us help you locate your part or search online at autovalue.com.
Our great sport provides us with many wonderful opportunities, but one of the best is the opportunity to expand and bring together the family. Apart from the friends who become family, there's the obvious: the father, the mother, and the son or the daughter racing together. In this episode, we look at one team that emulates exactly what I'm talking about here. This is the story of the Tarvis Racing Team. What's your name?
Owen,
What do they call you?
the O Show,
How long have you been racing?
5 years.
5? In just the last year alone, though, Owen and his team have cemented themselves as top contenders at Thunder Hill, going 3 for 4 in their last 4 races. What class do you race in?
R-Box,
What's your favorite part about Thunder Hill?
a bunch of lanes,
A bunch of lanes? Do you like the competition? What are your goals for the future?
winning a sprint car,
Winning a sprint car? Do you want to drive a non-wing or a wing? What do you want to drive?
wing.
Wing? What are the fun parts being a racing mom?
The milestones, seeing him hit the milestones.
Milestones?
Yep.
Anything special that's happened recently?
His line. We've been working on his line.
That's awesome.
Yep, tell him once, and then it's pretty cool to see him take it out on the track and put it into action.
How about some of the, I don't want to say negatives because they're not entirely negative, but some of the harder things that you've got to kind of deal with?
The emotions of an 8-year-old, that's tough. The traveling is fun, but it can be very exhausting.
How about the work on the karts? Do you have to end up doing some work on the karts yourself?
I have been lately. Yeah, I've been helping Chad. He doesn't let us touch too much of it, but we do what we can.
Now, how about your thoughts on Thunder Hill? What do you think about the atmosphere, the racing, all the stuff that happens here?
It's really nice that it's one big community. Everybody helps each other. The multiple lanes, like Owen said, is my favorite thing.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Out of Colfax, Wisconsin, and the number 16. That is Anthony. And we are off and running the O Show. Owen Tarvis leading the charge after 1. He's your leader. Behind him is Will Ballard, Oakley Booth running in 3rd, Jacob Devil in 4th, and Henry Junker running in your first 5. Again, trying to pad his lead just a little bit more with each passing lap. He's going to come to the white flag. But it's time by. That means a 1 climbs out of his car. Noise for the ocean! Oh, Will Thomas!
Now, as we get started here for the evening, folks, for round number 5, Cannon River Raceway's 2024 season, we're going to be starting off this evening's races with our second feature event of the night, our box class. We're going to give them a few parade laps to get everything situated, make sure the water's all good for them to go. But let's start off with your starting lineup tonight, folks. Starting off on the pole, out of Stanley, Wisconsin, we have the 36 of Henry Junker. Outside row number 1, Lock and Excavation and Drainage, Coles Electric of Owatonna, Demmel Logistics, Tony Plague Trucking's 19 of Jacob Demmel. Inside row number 1, we have the WLJT Motorsports, number 1T of Tanner Johnson out of Superior, Wisconsin. Outside row number 2, 16 of Oakley Booth from Colfax, Wisconsin. Inside row number 3, Boyd, Wisconsin's very own 97 of Levi Haas. Outside row number 3, Lane Baker in your 60. Inside row number 4, 26 of Kimber Zimmer out of Spring Valley, Minnesota. Outside row number 4, we have the A to Z Towing and Recovery, Powder Plus, S&S Roofing and Construction, number 1 of Bentley Larson. Inside row number 5, we got the 99K, Hardcore Outdoors, Full Powder Coating, Amelin Smith Designs, Cats Covers, 99K of Jacob Core. Outside row number 5, Gervais Wealth Management, Pettit Racing Products, Larson Building and Remodeling's, number 4 of Lucas Pettit. Inside row number 6, we got the Fahrenholtz Constructions, number 20 of Axel Fahrenholtz. And rounding out your 6th row, 12-car field, we got the Valley Properties, The Company, GetTheGrabber.com, Peven Districts, number 93 of Kate Knops out of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. 12 racers, 12 laps in this R-Box A main event. Watered over intermission, so we're going to give our racers a couple laps just to get everything set in. Make sure the racing line is all good to go. Little bit of happy racers out there bumping and banging on these parade laps. Just to make sure we have them all in their set orders. We have a couple cars out of line. We're going to stop them in turn number 1 here. Give them a chance to get all resituated. Now for this R-Box class, one thing we are going to have to keep in mind, not only when it comes to restarts, but especially for this first start here. So these are racers ages 5 to 6. It's a beginner wing kart class. So, these aren't going to be your hardened veterans who have been at this for quite some time. These are going to be new racers behind the wheel of a car, some possibly for the first time ever tonight. So we got to give them a little bit of time here to make sure they're all situated and ordered, their correct racing order, so we can kind of get them all set and ready for these races. Looks like the 60 of Lane Baker is a scratch tonight. So we're trying to get them reordered here. And just like that, we got our karts all situated in their starting order. Going to be going green this time by. With one kart down, we got 11 racers, 12 laps for this R-Box feature. Out of 4, green flags flying. We're R-Box racing. Side by side into 1 and 2. Junker and Devil. Junker's going to take the early lead, but we got a yellow coming into 1 and 2. Quite a few karts all caught up. Looks like we might even have 2 karts locked there on the back stretch. So we're going to give these karts a chance to get re-situated again before we send them back to green. Seems to be having some issues with the 16 of Oakley Booth here on the front stretch. Looks like he's going to be pulling off, I believe. And 16's back on the track, so it looks like we will be having Oakley Booth out there tonight. Just making sure we got these kids all wrangled up here in their correct restart order. Doing a full restart on this one as we didn't get through that first lap. Had that little tangle going on through 1 and 2 with about half of our pad.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
Auto Value Parts Stores has the parts you need for your car, truck, boat.
And just like that, it looks like we got our karts all in their correct starting order. And lucky for the 60 of Lane Baker, wasn't out here for the initial start, but because we hadn't fully started yet, they are going to pull on now. They are going to be sent to the back for not making that initial start. However, Lane Baker out, able to make this fresh restart. So we're back up to 12 racers, 12 laps, green flag this time by for our R-Box racers. flag is out. We're R-Box Racing. As we've got a competitor going sideways, just barely missing everyone. Looks like that's the 16 of Oakley Booth. Able to make it back on. We're going to be keeping it green, folks. Another spin on the backstretch, though. 93 of Kate Knops going around. This is going to bring in the caution, though. Narrowly escaped that caution with the 16 of Oakley Booth going all which ways on the front stretch. Ended up getting that caution brought in, though. The 93 of Knops spins around on the backstretch. So we're going to give these kids another chance to get all reordered, resituated before we go back to some green flag action. We're going to go single file for this restart here. Our box racers can get a little jumpy here. So we're going to get them all single file, ready to go. And as we get our carts all resettled here for their single file restart, we should be good to go. The carts are live, and we're going to be going green this time by. As we officially get back to some green flag action here at Cannon River Raceway. Lights are out. Karts are running. One last time under caution into 3 and 4. Green flags out. We're back to R-Box racing. Single file through the top half of the field. Side-by-side action in the back. We make it through turns 1 and 2 unscathed. And we have our first official lap in the books for our R-Box class. Henry Younger leading out front. So we have the 97 of Haas spinning around in 2. Haas, Demel, Johnson, your early top 3 racers. All settled through that time. We've just about got our carts back into their restart order. Lineup is good now. Once we get these last 3 competitors up to the back, the rest of our track. We're going to give them the 1 to go sign this time by as the lights go out. And this time by, next time around, we will be back to some green flag action as we start lap 2, I believe, of our R-Box heat. Not before we have 1 competitor going around on the front stretch. Gonna try to give him 1 last time around as we get that 99 back up to his starting spot. Jacob Core moving back in. And we've got our lineup ready once again. Gonna go green this time around. Not every day we get to see a couple cautions mid-caution, but with these young racers, always interesting to see. Green flags out. We're back to R-Box racing. Single file throughout the field. 97 making moves in the back, though. And after a slew of cautions, word from the race director is we're actually going to push this class off the track now. Going to push them to the end of the racing this evening, in case we end up having time. But in the meantime, we'll be moving on to our second feature of the evening. As we move into our junior wing competitors, before we get these R-Box racers off. For junior wing, 10 racers out here tonight for this main event, starting off on the line, or on the front row, after dominating 2 heats. And as a reminder, though we did pull these R-Box racers off, if we have time at the end of the night here, we are on a time clock. We have to be out of here by 10 p.m. If we have time at the end, we will bring those R-Box racers back out. Just wanted to make sure we could get into some of our other classes here before the end of the evening as well. So starting off with that junior wing race, after dominating 2 classes, starting off on the pole, we got the 44 of Reese Smith out of Stanley, Wisconsin. 3J of Jonathan Pettit, outside of row number 1. Inside row 2, the 8 of Alan Byrne. Outside row 2, the 21 of Ashton Fahrenholtz. Inside row 3, the 14 of Archer Hoffbeck. Side by side with the 15 JR of Luke Patterson. Inside row number 4, 26 of Chautauqua, Wisconsin's Camden Grilly. Side by side with the 98 of Axel Haas. And inside and outside that last row, the 91 of Easton Grilly and the 12B of Tate Brzezinski. 10 racers, 12 laps in this junior wing class. Green flags out. We're junior wing racing. Side by side up front, Smith's got the inside, Pettit's got the outside. Smith gonna ease their way into the sole leadership position. Smith, Pettit, Byrne, your top 3 racers going across the finish line. Single file throughout the pack, 15 JR of Patterson sliding off, able to make it back on, but not before the 12B of Brzezinski's going around. Almost had it. 15 JR of Patterson slid off the track, was able to make it back on by a hair. But not before we had Brzezinski going around. We're going to do a single file start here for us. Going green this next time by. Now, junior wing, these are the next step up from the competitors we just saw earlier in that R-Box class. So these are going to be a little bit more experienced racers than what we just saw. Can be pretty competitive out here, which always draws some fun class action.
We got a stalled engine.
Issues with the 12B in the back. Got a stalled Kart. So we're going to bring these guys back to a caution quick.
Get back in line, guys. Get back in line. 12, stay where you're at. 12, stop. 12, stop. All right, keep going, guys. Get back where you're at.
Going to re-get them single file.
Nice job.
And just like that, we're back and ready to race. One more lap around. And then we'll be back to some green flag action with our junior wing racers. Lights are out. One last time onto the backstretch under caution. Green flag is out. We're back to junior wing racing. Smith, your early race leader. Pettit still holding on strong for second. But going around in 1 and 2. Pettit. Your second place racer going around, trying to make that aggressive move underneath. Not going to be able to work. Going to be sent to the back for causing the caution. So this will be interesting to see Pettit work his way back through the pack. See if he can fight back for that top spot again. In the meantime, your new top 3 is going to end up being Smith, Byrne, and Fahrenholtz 1, 2, 3. And lineup is good again. So we're going to send these carts back out.
Hey guys, stay off the bottom of the track. There. If you want me to get not timed out, you better stay off.
Green flag is out. We're back to junior wing racing. Through 1 and 2 unscathed. Smith pulling away from the aid of Byrne. Nice side-by-side battle there for second and third between Byrne and Fahrenholtz. But we're single file throughout the field now as Smith slowly but surely pulls away from the rest of her competitors. Smith got about a 10-12 card advantage over the second place of Byrne. And we got about 2 cart lengths before we get back to the 21 of Fahrenholtz. Don't count out the 14 of Hoffbeck, though. Hoffbeck looking inside, looking outside, trying to get into one of those top 3 positions. Side-by-side battle in the middle of the field, though, as Pettit slowly makes his way back up to the front. Pettit in a nice 3-way battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Behind the 98 of Haas and the 15 JR Patterson. But it's still your early race leader out front, the 44 of Smith. Smith with a quarter lap advantage over the rest of our field. Slowly making their way up to the back of the field. Gonna start having to work their way through these soon-to-be lapped riders. Nice little battle for third, fourth between the 21 of Fahrenholtz and the 14 of Hoffbeck. Hoffbeck's been trying to get into that podium spot all race, hasn't quite been able to make it. Looking low in the corners, trying it, not quite able to secure that spot though. White flag is out, 1 more lap to go for Smith. And one last time out of 4. Reese Smith's gonna be your junior wing race winner. The 8 of Alan Byrne holding on to second. And the 21 of Ashton Fahrenholtz holding on to third. A little rough at the beginning. Some solid racing there at the end, though. And as we pull into the Matt Demmel Trucking victory lane, make sure we all put our hands together for the 44 of Reese Smith. And as we get our Junior 1 flat carts ready, starting off on the pole, your heat race winner, the 59 of Vincent Abbott out of Tomah, Wisconsin. Side by side with other heat race winner, Isaac Demmer racing the 21. Inside row number 2, Midwest Concrete and Masonry's 19 of Colton Gillis. Side by side with the 6 of Ethan Demmer. Inside row number 3, the 23 of Taylor Schulke. Outside row 3, the 01 of James Schulke. Schulke, row 3. Inside row 4, 58 of Mackenzie Jorgensen out of Tomah, Wisconsin. Side by side with the 13 of Holtmeyer Construction Cook & Sons XK, number 13, Finn Cook. And rounding out your 9 kart field, we got the 26 of Kyle Zimmer out of Spring Valley, Minnesota. 9 karts, 12 laps for this Junior 1 kart race. We're going to stop our racers here on the front stretch, get them all lined up and ready to go. So similar to our last class, these Junior 1 flat kart racers are going to be kids ages 7 to 11. Again, a little more experience than those R-Box racers we saw earlier tonight. However, these are still kids we have out there, so we just want to make sure we got them all lined up, ready to go in their correct starting order before we send them out for some green flag racing here. But we got them all situated here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, all ready to go. So we're going to send them out. Lights are down. Green flag this time by. One last time into 3 under caution. Before we're back to green flag action. Green flag is out for our Junior 1 flat kart racers. Side by side going into turn 1, but it's going to be the 21 of Isaac Demmer, your early race leader. 19 of Gillis making moves up to the second place spot. The 59 of Abbott holding on to third. Don't count out that 6 of Ethan Demmer, though. We have 1 kart around coming out of 2. But outside of the racing groove, so not going to call the yellow. But as that racer gets pushed back out onto the groove, we're going to call that caution. Just about made it through that without a caution. However, weren't quite able to. Looks like it was the 13 of Finn Cook going around, coming out of 2. As we get our karts reordered here on the front stretch. Our starting order is going to end up being the 21 of Isaac Demmer, 19 of Gillis, 6 of Ethan Demmer, 59 of Abbott, 58 of Jorgensen, 26 of Zimmer, our dual Schulkes, 23 of Taylor, and the 01 of James, with the 13 of Finn Cook rounding out the field. And in the meantime, want to send a quick shout out to the Heating Dude out of Cannon Falls, Minnesota. Family-owned company founded on honesty and integrity. They're there when you need them. Another great local business giving back to the community. Check them out on Facebook and make sure to give them a like. Thank them for being a sponsor here at Cannon River Raceway. We're getting our Kart single file for this restart, making sure we're all good to go before we get back to some green flag action. As we get back into racing order here, we're sending our carts out. Going green this time by. Single file throughout the field. Lights are out. Passions are high. Green flag is flying. We're back to Junior 1 flat kart racing. 21 of Isaac Demmer, your early race lead. But we got a caution coming out of 4. We got a car stalled. Looks like that was the 59 of Vincent Abbott stalling in 4. Second stall of the night. And we've got our carts all reordered. Going to be going down to 8 laps for this feature. Started off at 12, going down to 8, just to make sure we can try to get more of these classes in here before we get our 10 o'clock hard cutoff. Green flag is out. We're back to Junior 1 flat kart racing. Single file throughout the field. Side-by-side battle for second and third as the 6 of Ethan Demmer makes his way into the second place spot. We now have a Demmer 1 and 2 up top. Gillis on the 19 and third. Lap traffic's causing the 6 of Ethan Demmer to get caught up. Lets the 19 of Gillis come right up on his tail. But it's not going to stop the 6 of Ethan Demmer as he's able to pull back away from Gillis. Isaac's still your lone leader out front. About a quarter of a lap advantage over the second place racer of Ethan Demmer. Isaac Demmer, Ethan Demmer, Colton Gillis, your top 3. With the 21 of Isaac Demmer just setting a race fastest lap time. 14.3 seconds that time around. But we've got another caution in turn 4. And with that, we're going to start a white checkered for this race. Next time by, we'll be getting the white flag, followed by the checkered flag to finish things off, cutting the laps off on this race. '58 of Jorgensen going to take their spot at the back of the field. A little bit of a caution-happy race this evening. Just shows that passions are high for these youngsters. Not all of them fresh to racing, but some of them are. So we're going to get them refired, restarted. And we're going to go white checkered this time by. And as we get our racers relined up, we're going to send them off. Single file throughout the field, ready to go. Lights are out. Green, white, this time by. Flag is flying. White flag out. One more lap to go for our Junior 1 racers. Bumping and banging in 1 and 2. Gonna make it through though. Checkered flag is out. And just like that, the 21 of Isaac Demmer gonna be your race winner. The 6 of Ethan Demmer holding on for second. The 19 of Gillis rounding out your podium. Junior 2-3 karts, you're next out. But before we get to that, make sure you put a round of applause together for your Junior 1 flat kart race winner, Isaac Demmer. As for Junior 2-3 flat karts, 6 racers tonight. Inside row number 1, we got the 56 of Allison Blazel, your heat race winner. Outside row 1, the 66 of Isaiah Hughes. Inside row 2, we got the 72 of Riley Payne out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, side by side with the 76 of Carson Mish out of Bloomington, Wisconsin. And inside that third and final row, we got the 19 of Tatum Gillis out of Northfield, Minnesota, and the 29 of Noah Pollock from Alma, Wisconsin, rounding out your 6-car field. 6 karts for this Junior 2-3 flat kart race. Sending them around. Gonna give them one more lap just to get all situated, get a feel for the track, and then we'll be going green next time by. Sending them through the back stretch. One more time into 3. Lights are out. Green flag's flying. We're junior 2-3 flat kart racing. 56 of Allison Blazel going to be your early race leader. Bumping and banging. We're going to make it through, though. Blazel, Mish, Inglet Payne, your top 3 early on. Single file throughout the pack. Blazel trying to pull away from the crowd. Mish holding on to his competitor, though. Pass for 4th brings Gillis up to 4th. Hughes back to 5th. Don't count out the 72 of Inglet Payne, though, as he's battling behind the 76 of Mish. But it's all Blazel all out front in this junior 2-3 flat kart race. Side by side. Gillis making his way up to 3rd now. Gillis now on the podium. Looking down low. Mish moving up to 2nd. 19 of Gillis started 5th, up to 2nd now in just 3 laps. Will we see Gillis putting on a fight for the lead here as he slowly reels in the 56 of Blazel? Gillis setting the fastest lap time for the race that time around with a 13.38 second. Half a second faster than Blazel. Slowly but surely pulling her in. Looks low. Nothing quite there that time around. Blazel's got him on the straights. Gillis in the corners. Blazel's feeling the heat. Single file throughout the field. Blazel, Gillis, Mish, Inglet Payne, Hughes, your top 5. Gillis giving it all he's got. White flag is out. One more lap to go for our racers. Blazel able to hold on. Tight battles for our top 3, though. Mish into the back of Gillis. Nothing working there. Mish looks low. Can't quite complete it. Gillis goes in. But it's Blazel that's going to be your race winner. Blazel, Gillis, Mish, your top 3. Helmet off and get out of her cart. But make sure you give a big round of applause for your race winner, the 56 of Allison Blazel. And green next time by as we bring out our lone 125-250 wing competitor, Jackson Helland out of Cadott, Wisconsin. Green flag is out. Jackson Helland, our lone 125-250 racer today, sponsored by Property Shop Realty, Road Dogs MC, Signature Metals, Stenbeck Custom Cues, Greenbuilt Fab and Repair, The Brown Hut, KC Electric, T27 Racing, The Narrows Resort, Cornell Lake Resort, A+ Decorative Concrete, Noticeable Change Construction, AmVets Post 2017, Shilka Flooring, JSK Photography, Built 2 Media, and A&M Fiberglass. White flag is out. One more lap to go for Jackson Helland. And down to the checkered flag. After a nail-biting main event, make sure you give it up for your race winner, the 2.0 of Jackson Helland. Next race out for the evening, going to be our A-Class Micro Sprints. 16 racers this evening. As we start off on the pole, though, we're going to see the Doan Family Farms Steel Brothers Realty C71 of Carter Jensrud on the pole. Outside row number 1, we got the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Boondocks Locker Room Martin's Milk Service Oak Ridge Fabrication number 28 of Mason Hale. Inside row number 2, we got the Belzer Builders Ice Country Fish Houses number 42 of Jake Lewerk from Princeton, Minnesota. Outside row number 2, the 128 of Marshall Willings, sponsored by Ray's Auto Body, Jellyfish Graphics, OG Customs. Inside row number 3, we got the Sorensen's Appliance Service Phil Carlson Custom Woodcraft number 17 of Gavin Underdahl. Outside row number 3, we got the X of Paul Rosillo from Duluth, Minnesota. Inside row number 4, we got the 99 of Mason Schubert from Welch, Minnesota. Side by side with the 88 of GCJ Millwright, Shelly Johnson. EDM Design and Millwright, number 88 of Caleb Moen. Inside row number 5, we got the 10H of Owen Henricks. Sponsored by Soderholm Insurance, Legacy of the Lakes. Outside row number 5, we got the 19L of Landry Singleton from Mora, Minnesota, sponsored by Driven Performance Midwest, Kava Fabrication, Rockstar Wraps, Built 2 Media Co. And on the outside of row number 6, the 249X of Brendan Newville. Inside row 7, we got the Ofame Photography 323 of Tyler Polofsky, side by side with the 10 of Cole McQuiston. And inside that final row, we got the 28X of Maddie Hale next to the 2 of Grant McIntosh out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. 16 racers, 20 laps for this A-Class Micro Sprint feature event tonight. Lights are out. Our carts are lined up. Green flag is out. We're Micro Sprint racing. 3 wide coming out of 2. But we make it through with all our competitors. C71 of Carter Jensen is going to be your early race leader, pulling away from the 28 of Bale and the 42 of Lewerk. Your top 3, single file throughout the field. It's going to be Jensrud out front with the 28 of Mason Hill holding out for second. But don't count out the 42 of Jake Lewerk, trying to reel him in for second. Right behind them, though, we got the 128 of Marshall Willing holding on for fourth. Before we get a little bit of space before we get back to the X of Rosillo. Side by side for 7th and 8th. C71 of Jensrud pulling away from the rest of the field. We have a 4.2-second gap between our first place racer and our second place racer. We have tight knit racing as we see the 28 of Hale pull into the infield. We're going to give our karts a chance to get back in their racing order. Your race order as it stands: the C71 of Jensrud, your race leader, 42 of Jake Lewerk in second, 128 of Marshall Willing third, 88 of Caleb Moe in fourth, the X of Residlo in fifth, 17 of Gavin Underdahl in sixth, 9th of Mason Subert, 99 of Mason Subert, 323 of Polofsky, 10H of Hendricks, 19L of Singleton, 28X of Matty Hale, 249X of Newville, McQuiston, McIntosh, and Franzen rounding out your field. We're going to do a Delaware double file restart for these guys. So we got the C71 of Jensrud holding on to the solo front row spot before we get back to some side-by-side action between Lewerk and Willing in second and third. Lineup is good this time round. Lights are out. Green flag is flying. We're back to micro sprint racing. C71 of Jensrud pulling away for the early lead. Lewerk, the 88 of Moen holding on to second and third. We've got a caution in one, though, as the 10 and 10 taking up those rear spots after causing the caution. We'll give our karts another chance to reline up here in their Delaware double file restart formation. As we get our karts back into their starting formation, we're going to give them another lap or two before we get back to some green flag action. Lights are out. Green this time by. One more time into three. The hammer's down. Green flag is out. We're back to micro sprint racing. Jensrud pulling away from the rest of the field. Don't count out the 88 of Moen, though, moving up to second. Jensrud, Moen, Lurk, your new top three. Lurk, all sorts of wobbling in 1 and 2. Gonna drop back a few spots. Residlo's able to move up to third, though. Lurk having trouble there in 1 and 2. Keep wobbling back and forth. Pushes all the way back to 7th. Alone and out front, though, it's still going to be the C71 of Jensrud holding on to the lead. 88 of Moen, hot on his tail, though, in second. A mere 0.8 seconds in between our top two competitors before we get back 2.5 more seconds to our third place spot, the 128 of Willing. Caution is out. Our new top three in this restart going to end up being Jensrud alone out front. 88 of Moen on the inside of row 2. The 128 of Willing on the outside of row 2. Looks like the 42 of Lurk having issues in 1 and 2. Going to be pulling into the middle, into the infield. We'll be doing a single file start this time by. Green next time by. Jensrud, Moen, Willing your top three going into this restart. Residlo sitting just outside in the top 4. One last time into 3. Green flag is out. We're back to micro sprint racing. Jensrud slowly pulling away from the rest of the field. Moen hot on his tail, though. Single file throughout the field. It's Jensrud, Moen, Willing, Residlo, your top 4. 323 of Tyler Pawlowski holding on to your 5th place spot. We've got Jensrud alone out front. A little bit of space before we get back to the 88 of Moen, the 128 of Willing. And then about 1.5 seconds before we get back to the X of Residlo. Single file throughout the field. Jensrud's off the pace, pulling inside. Your race leader pulling off the track after serving the fastest lap of the race. Must be having some issues. Moen, your new race leader. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for your new race leader, Moen. Moen, Willing, Residlo, your top 3. Checkered flag is out. Give it up for Caleb Moen on the 88. 128 of Marshall Willing going to hold on for a strong second place. And the X of Paul Residlo holding on to third. We'll give our racers a chance to pull into the Matt Demmel Trucking victory lane. But after an eventful last couple laps, your race winner today is going to be the 88 of Caleb Moen. Coming from the middle of the field, making his way up to make the win this evening. And as he climbs out of his cart, make sure you all give a loud of applause for the 88 of Moen. Yard carts out for our next race of the evening. 3 competitors. Starting off on the inside of row number 1, we got the 555 of Matt Vlček. Outside of row number 1, the 18 of Dan Pedersen out of Webster, Minnesota. And rounding out the field, we got the 65 of Ashley Siddle out of Austin, Minnesota. 3 racers, 12 laps for this yard cart main event. Lights are out, green next time by. Green flag is out. We're yard cart racing. Pedersen looks down low, going into 3, side by side, coming out of 4. Pedersen going to be your new race leader. Vlček doesn't want to give up that easy, though. Staying hot on his tail right behind, looking high, looking low. Vlček looks low, able to make the pass. Is he going to be able to make it stick, though? Yes, he is. Vlček, your new race leader. Don't count out the 65 of Siddle, though. Siddle moving up to second, almost slides up to first. We've got bumping and banging. Siddle goes around on the back stretch. Caution is out. Wow, folks. What a first couple laps here we have for our yard cart races. Back and forth. 2 different race leaders, almost a third. We may only have 3 carts out there right now, but boy, are they all ready to race tonight. We got our carts resituated. Vlček, your pole. Pedersen in second. Siddle back to third. Lights are out. One more time into 3. Pedal to the metal. Green flag is out. We're back to yard car racing. Siddle moves up to second. Looks down low on Vlček. Not quite able to make it. Looks low on the back stretch. Gonna see if she's able to do anything. Not quite this time around. Single file throughout the field. Siddle down low. Goes for the pass. Vlček comes down. Holds on to the lead spot. Vlček, Siddle, Pedersen, your top 3. Vlček able to pull away a little bit from our second and third place racers. Giving them a half-second gap. Vlček setting the fastest lap time of the race last time around with a 13.6. He means business. He's trying to get away from the rest of the team. Six laps down, 6 laps to go in this yard cart main event. Vlček, Siddle, Pedersen, 1, 2, and 3. Siddle looks low. Tries to go for that inside move. but Vlachek's going to bring it down. Not quite this time around. Siddle looks high, sees if there's anything there. Not quite. Brings it back down low. Tries to reel back Vlachek in. Don't count out the 18 of Pedersen, though. Pedersen looking low on Siddle. Gonna try to make a move. Not quite there. Vlachek pulling away from the rest of the field. White flag is out. One more lap to go for Vlachek as the 18 of Pedersen makes his way beneath Siddle. And checkered flag is out. Your yard car race winner, the 555 of Matt Vlachek. 18 of Dan Peterson going to hold on for second with the 65 of Ashley Siddle bringing it in at the rear of the field in third. Looks like our yard cart racers aren't heading into victory lane. In the meantime, let's get to our slingshot lineup. 4 racers, 12 laps. Starting off on the pole, the 21 of Isaac Demmer out of Ellendale, Minnesota. Outside row number 1, we got the 19 of Jacob Demmel from Owatonna. Inside row number 2, the 88 of Cashton Kaler from Rolling Stone, Minnesota. And rounding out our 4-car field, we have the 6 of Ethan Demmer from Ellendale, Minnesota. Lights are out. 4 racers, 12 laps. Who's it going to be?
Let's keep it clean and keep it green detectors, guys.
Gas is on. Green light is out. 21 of Isaac Demmer going to be your early race leader. 88 of Kaler holding on to second, moving up past the 19 of Demmel. Demmer, Kaler, Demmel, Demmer, your top 4. 21 of Isaac Demmer trying to pull away from the rest of field. Not quite able to do it, though, as the 88 of Kaler is hot on his heels. And don't count out the 19 of Demmel right behind. We'll get a little bit of space before we get back to the 6 of Ethan Demmer in 4th. Cashton Kaler that time around with the fastest lap. Slowly but surely trying to pull in that 21 of Isaac Demmer. Single filed throughout the track. Kaler looks low. Tries to make the move, not quite going to be able to make it. 21 of Demmer shutting the door on him. Demmer, Kaler, Demmel, your top 3. Kaler trying everything, looking high, looking low, almost able to peek in beneath there, not quite though. Demmer slides high, Kaler goes down low, not going to be able to make it though. 0.2 seconds gapping our top 3 racers. Demmel coming up beside Kaler in 3 and 4. Might we see a 3-way side-by-side battle for the lead as the 6 of Ethan Demmer pulls off to give those racers a little chance there. Isaac Demmer still holding on to the lead. Kaler falling back a little. Demel doing the same. White flag is out. One more lap to go as Kaler looks to the inside, pushes Demmer out of the way. Gonna cause the caution. Kaler trying for the aggressive move down on the inside. Not quite gonna let it stick. After causing the caution, it'll be the 88 of Kaler heading to the back. But with only half a lap left, we're going to throw the checkers. 21 of Isaac Demmer, your race winner. Going green this time by for our intermediate wing class. 5 racers.
Hey, hurry up! What the hell?
Smith, Knops, Blazel, Knops, your 5 competitors this race. Smith with the early race lead. Sydney Knops in the 29X, hot on her tail. Side-by-side action between the 29 of Abigail Blazel and the 95 of Caleb Knops. The 56 of Allison Blazel holding out the back of the field. Smith pulling away from the rest of the pack. 29X of Knops holding on strong for second, but we've got a lot of company there for third and fourth. Bumping and banging out of 4. Everyone's going to stay on 4 wheels. Knops, Blazel, Knops. 29 of Abigail Blazel currently in a Knops sandwich there. As we've got 0.2 seconds in between all 3 racers there battling for second, third, and fourth. Blazel looks low. Knops looks high. That's going to give the 29X of Sydney Knops a chance to breathe for a bit in second. 29 of Blazel goes high. Knops looking every which way to try to get past the 29 of Blazel. Still out front, your lone leader for the day, Reese Smith, holding on to that top spot. Smith, Knops, Blazel, Knops. Blazel looks low, not quite able to complete it though. Blazel trying everything possible to get out of this Knops sandwich in second and third. White flag is out for Smith. 1 lap to go. But the main battle's for second and third. Knops goes low. Blazel looks high. Smith, your race winner. But who's it going to be for second? 29X of Knops holding on for second. 29 of Abigail Blazel going to hold on for a solid third place. And with that, we make it to our final race of the evening.
Everyone, hold them there before we're going to send out the next group. Drivers, I need you to go on the back stretch and park. Go on the back stretch, double on the top.
One more race to go. Our Sportsman Flat Kart competitors. 8 racers, 12 laps. Starting on the inside of row 1, we've got Travis Underdahl in the 17T. Outside row 1, the 81 of John Inglett from Alma, Wisconsin. Inside row 2, we've got the 19 of Tom Gillis. Side by side with the 18 of Mike Pedersen. Inside row 3, Hudson, Wisconsin's 555 of Matt Vlachek, with the 17 of Tegan Underdahl to the outside. And inside row number 4, the 23 of Haley McQuiston, next to the 57 of David Abbott. 8 racers, 12 laps in our final main event of the evening. Green flag is out. We're Sportsman Flat Kart Racing. We've got bumping and banging on the front stretch, but everyone's going to make it through. Single file throughout the field, but it's going to be the 17T of Travis Underdahl, your early race leader. Gillis making moves. Gillis now up to second. 555 of Vlachek back to third before we get to the 18 of Pedersen in fourth. Pedersen looking low on Vlachek, though, seeing if he can get up onto that podium. Single file throughout the field. Underdahl, Gillis, Vlachek, your top 3. Pedersen in fourth. A little bit of space before we get back to the 81 of Inglett and the 17 of Underdahl. Nice little battle there going on for 5th and 6th. Then a little space before we get back to the 23 of McQuiston and the 57 of Abbott rounding out your field. Gillis slowly reeling in the 17T of Travis Underdahl as we're halfway through this final main event of the evening. Gillis looks high on the backstretch, tucks it down low in the corners, not quite able to do anything that time around. Trying every which way to get around the 17T of Tegan Underdahl, Travis Underdahl. Coming up on lap traffic, though, this might aid the 19 of Gillis. We'll see if Underdahl's able to get by. Underdahl struggling. Gillis looks high, but Underdahl's able to make it past the lap traffic fine. With Gillis going around. Gillis holding on to that second place spot.
All right, I need you guys to slow down.
Gonna spin in 4, though. Devastating for the 19 of Gillis.
Keep going, get in line.
With Gillis moving to the back of the field, your new top 3 is going to be Travis Underdahl, Vlachek, Mike Pedersen.
Kyle, did you?
Lights out. Green flag this time by. The flag is flying. We're back to Sportsman Flat Kart Racing. Underdahl, Vlachek, Pedersen, your top 3. As Gillis tries to make his way back toward the front from the back. Pedersen around. That's going to call our race. And just like that, folks, after a confusing night, cautions left and right, this is going to bring an end to our racing activities for the evening. On behalf of everyone here at Cannon River Raceway, I'd like to thank you all for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you next week at round 6, August 17th, for our next round of Cannon River Racing's 2024 racing season.
Freight is the backbone of the country, and as long as people need goods, they're going to need somebody to get it to them. My name is Matt Bohl with QualityFreightRate.com, powered by T-Force Worldwide. We provide LTL, truckload, and expedited freight services across this country. If your freight weighs over 120 pounds going over 120 miles, that's where my shipping rates kick in. We help companies ship easier for less. With our system, our customers are able to quote and book shipments with ease 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're having trouble with damages, lost freight, claims of any sort, we can help you with our experience, solve the problem, tell you why it's happening and what you should do to prevent it in the future. Me and my team have been together for over 20 years. We know this industry. We can help all size business, big or small. We love them all, but we have a special spot for small business. Small businesses are pillars in the community. Low rates are critical for a small business because the margins are generally pretty small. They need to have competitive rates. They can't be getting gouged or they lose the sale. Freight is simple. People make it difficult. We work as consultants in the industry, so it doesn't matter what your problem is, we'll solve it. We educate the customers, we solve problems, and we lower their shipping rates. And that's what I've been doing for 20 plus years.
Kevco has been an industry leader in high-performance oil pans and components for over 35 years. Made in Fairmont, Minnesota, Kevco prides itself on being American-made. Kevco has expanded our product line way beyond just oil pans to valve covers, breather systems, jack stands, boilers, wheel sockets, and much, much more. Check out KevcoRacing.com to see everything we have to offer, including our line of street, off-road, and performance oil pans and accessories. Or call 800-770-3557 to talk with our friendly customer service today.
My two passions in life is racing and selling good high-end meat. So my grandfather came here from Germany back in the late 20s. He decided to open his own shop in 1951. He had all the recipes, he had all the talent. His father was a meat guy. His father's father was a butcher. They weren't football players, basketball players. They were in the meat business. And that's our family. That's what we're good at. Old World Meats was derived from Frank's Meats. That was my grandfather's name. I know the quality of my beef is the best because I've purchased it directly from the ranchers that certified Angus beef. We know what our beef is continuously and it's very consistent. So we're located up here in Duluth on beautiful Lake Superior, just a stone throw off of Highway 61. I've lived here my whole life and it's where I wanted to raise my family. To be successful, you need to have a talent. And I knew I was going to be in the meat business. I can taste spices, I can pick out flavors, where they need to come in, where they need to stop. So knowing your strengths are important and knowing where you came from. We have a hot snack stick that's got actually 8 different spices of heat in that, and it layers the flavors in the heat. That's what makes the difference with our product. The most exciting part was becoming coast to coast with the Old World Meats snack sticks. My neighbor stopped me on the street and said, "Paul, I was just down in Georgia and this gas station had your product." It was one of the highlights of the year. I don't know of a state at this point that we haven't had product in. Being in business in a small town really puts things into perspective. It's the little things for me to be appreciated and respected. So this whole operation here, it doesn't have to be the biggest, but it needs to have passion. And today, I'm changing lives of people that work with me. My guys are learning lifelong skills and values. That's the good stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Let's have a good time at it.
Auto Value Parts Stores has the parts you need for your car, truck, boat, or RV. With 8 locations in the Finger Lakes, including Canandaigua, Auto Value can help you find the parts you need, like motor oil for that do-it-yourself oil change, electrical wiring and lighting for your trailer. We even make customer-specific hydraulic hoses. Auto Value stocks everything that racer in your family needs. Let us help you locate your part or search online at autovalue.com.
When you need to ship it from anywhere to anywhere.
QualityFreightRate.com.
The LTL Freight Logistics Specialist for your small business.
QualityFreightRate.com.
We simplify shipping, eliminate those surprise charges, and negotiate the best rates from most LTL qualified carriers.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Special residential and liftgate rates available for automotive and ag implements.
QualityFreightRate.com.
The company that actually cares about the American small business owner.
QualityFreightRate.com.
Use the promo code SHIPIT and get 10% off your first shipment. Startup is so easy. Get a quote and ship today. QualityFreightRate.com.